everybody. This week on Up Your Alley, we've got two great recommendations. First, Jake recommended for me the film Past Lives, and I recommended for Jake the documentary Trainwreck Poop Cruise. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some Hollywood merger news, some new trailers that are out, and Jake finally played a Switch 2. That's fun.
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Anything, Dad?
Did you play Red Dead Redemption?
Oh, yeah, I can talk about the Red Dead final update.
The final update.
Yeah, I usually have like something to like build into to the music, and I ran out of steam.
There you go. All that and more today.
Like and subscribe. Good to be back. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
You were out front today with your dog. And when I was pulling in, and I saw the moment when your dog realized it was me.
He got so excited.
He lurched.
Yeah.
Like his body went forward where his head stayed still. He's like, oh, there he is. He took off.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He almost jumped through my window. What a good boy.
What a good boy. Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming to the show. No, you're not coming here.
Hey, welcome into the show,
welcome in, everybody.
Make yourself comfortable.
My name is Taylor Edgar. With me, as always, is my best friend, Jake Baggett.
Please,
say hi, Jake.
Take your shoes off before you listen to the podcast.
We're not a shoe-off household. We're too far out in the country to, like, a lot of people come in wearing boots and stuff. It's like, yeah.
I used to, and then your mom yelled at me, and she said...
Well, because a lot of times you're in just Crocs as well. If anything, we're a shoe-on household because, like, the deck will give you splinters. So you really need shoes most of the time. It's a show. We've been best friends for 20 years, so we recommend things to each other. We come back the next week and talk about them and rate them on a scale of 1 to 3. This week, again, we're talking about the film Past Lives and the documentary Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
Poop Cruise.
About the Carnival poop fiasco at sea. Yeah, Jake, how you been?
Man, I'm fine.
Hands on a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My buddy Chris is in town.
Chris, the only guest that we've ever had on the podcast.
Yeah. Of the Expanse fame.
Yeah. Well,
and that he recommended Expanse.
Weirdly sci-fi related, we got a request for someone to come on the show.
That's the weirdest thing.
It's weird. Okay, so I don't want to get too specific because it might end up actually happening. Well, but it's the first time we've been reached out to where someone's like, hey, would you like this person on your podcast?
So how did they find us?
I don't know. I don't know if they're listening to this. So there was an email a while ago that said, was when we did the Sony State of Play, and the email just says, hey, I really liked your deep dive to the Sony State of Play. I'm like, oh, so they listened.
They listened to it.
And then they sent another one a couple months later, like, hey, just following up. Would you like to put this person on your podcast? And I'm like, oh, I'll talk to Jake about it. I don't know anything about this person.
I know nothing about this person.
So we'll do some more research. That might be interesting.
It's weird. It's the weirdest thing I've read. I don't understand it.
It's
at
Andy
all.
Weir. He wants to talk about Project Hail Mary.
Let's talk about...
I would have Andy Weir on a heartbeat. Jake did not watch the trailer for Project Hail Mary.
No.
It's out now.
I'm happy that Lord and Miller are directing it.
If they ever make that third Spider-Verse movie, I'm excited for that too.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. So that I almost recommended that book to Jake when I first read it.
Yeah.
Because it's great.
You gave me your copy. I don't know if I still have it.
I don't know if I have it. If I don't have it, you don't have it. Or you must have it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I started reading it and then I kind of stopped.
It's great. Ryan Gosling's in it, and it was right when he got announced as that person that I was like, oh, Jake loves reading the book before he sees the movie. So I gave you the book.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
No.
So you didn't watch this trailer, and I will say this. Having watched the trailer and read the book, there is people going around. I think Jason Pargin, formerly from Crack.com, now from talking over TikToks pointing. David Wong.
Oh.
Real name Jason Pargin.
Never going to
But he does the TikToks now where it's just his head with like the background, and he points. He's like, if you think about this, and he gets millions of views. Like, good for him. Like, he seems like a nice enough dude. But he even said, he's like, people are saying that this spoiled the movie for it.
Yeah.
I don't think it did. I think it really just set up more and more interesting things about the movie. I don't see anything about this that people are like, oh, it's spoiled. Nothing happens in this trailer that doesn't happen in the first third of the book, which I feel that's a fair range for trailers.
Sure.
If you stay in the first act, that's fair. You're not spoiling anything.
I know enough about the story.
Yeah.
Because I did read the book a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't get too far, but I knew what was happening.
It's essentially, it's a little more.
I know about the radio signals.
Yeah.
I know about why it's called Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And
it's a little more out there sci-fi than The Martian. Andy Weir also wrote The Martian. The Martian is, considered a pretty hard sci-fi story. It? Well, I mean, they try to bog it down at like this guy's a botanist and he gets to grow potatoes on Mars. Like there are some, leaps you have to take, but there's not, extraterrestrials or like they're not going through black holes like Interstellar or anything like that. The Martian is pretty much the guy's on Mars. Let's go get him from Mars. I would say that's closer to a hard sci-fi.
I see what you mean when you say hard sci-fi. And to me, it means it strictly adheres to the scientific theory,
right?
Where it's like magic's not going to happen, teleportation is going to happen. Like in Stars My Destination, it's a whole chapter on how teleportation is possible and how it works. And that's how it's like. No, it's not magic. It's scientifically possible.
It's science that covers its ass.
Yes,
yeah.
That's what hard sci-fi is.
It's definitely sci-fi. The Martian sci-fi. It's not sci-fi fantasy. I would say Project Hail Mary a little more on the fantasy element, but even still, I mean, it's closer to like maybe like an Ender's Game, that kind of thing.
It was when it was talking about.
There's no the force, but
it has centrifugal force.
Oh, I mean, there are forces of inertia.
Yeah, and like that's how he gets.
That's how
faux gravity in his spaceship.
Yeah,
and when I was looking at that, I was like, that's a little weird.
I mean, but it's fun. So I don't get that. I think people can watch this trailer and it'd be fine. There's also a trailer for Glenn Powell in The Running Man.
And I didn't watch that either. But Edgar Wright's directing it, and I like
another Stephen King short story turned into a fun-looking movie. We just talked about The Monkey a couple weeks ago.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Running Man.
So one of the people that I follow on X, formerly Twitter, which is still super fun to call it that.
The Everything app?
X, the Everything app is also fun. But they were pointing out like one of those trailer breakdown things. In the Running Man trailer, there's a thing where like money pops up and the president on the currency is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, oh, that's a fun little nod. Edgar Wright's good at that sort of thing.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
how sweet is that?
I like Edgar Wright as a director.
We're big fans of Glenn Powell.
Big fans of Glenn Powell.
So, I mean, it's worth a watch to me.
I think these two
movies.
Have you
seen the reviews coming in about Jurassic new movie?
Jurassic World Rebirth?
Yes.
What have your reviews said?
Nobody likes this movie.
Well, Jake.
What?
I did something this morning.
That is a great box.
That's a great popcorn bucket, isn't it?
Isn't the Jurassic Park logo so good?
Isn't it great?
Man.
This isn't a video podcast, Jake. I just set down my commemorative Jurassic World Rebirth popcorn bucket because this morning I went and saw Jurassic World Rebirth.
I'm going to guess you enjoyed it.
Jake.
Yeah?
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
This is the 7th Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah. They said it's a good movie if you don't know anything about Jurassic Park.
First of all, everyone knows something about Jurassic
Exactly.
Park.
That's why they're saying it's a bad movie.
It's directed by Gareth Edwards, who did like
other Jurassic Worlds, I'm sure.
No. He did the first new Godzilla, and he did Rogue One.
Ooh.
And he also he's a big effects guy. Like he did the movie that was out a couple years ago, I think called what the hell was it called?
The Maze.
The Creator.
Oh.
Which is really,
everybody said that was a really good looking movie.
He does scale really well. He does effects really well. Scarlett Johansson's in it. Mahershala Ali. And it's written by David Koepp, who wrote the original Jurassic Park. And he also wrote Black Bag that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Black Bag was great.
Black Bag was great. Jonathan Bailey's in this as well, who's from Wicked.
This is your story?
Here's the thing. I don't want to go too far into the story. I don't want to spoil the story for everyone.
Your story is... I looked up the IMDb.
No. So
I want to hear what's going on with this movie.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So first of all...
That's so funny.
I don't want to do spoilers. I don't want to do spoilers for people because the movie literally came out today. Popcorn Bucket's great.
Popcorn Bucket is great.
My main critique, if I had one.
Yeah.
One thing, you get there, they're on the boat, they're going to the island, and you can just point out, like, it's a popcorn flick where you can point out the people on the boat, you're like, dead. Yeah. All those people are going to die.
Sure.
Like,
I hear you. Somebody being like, hey, my name's James. I really look forward to working with you, Scarlett Johansson.
The one guy who's kind of a dick, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill a dinosaur. Yeah. And the dinosaur doctor's like, what do you mean you can't kill a dinosaur? He's like, I'm going to kill a dinosaur. I'm like, I bet you get killed by a dinosaur, buddy. And he does. I feel like this could have been two different movies.
I don't know what that means.
There are two. Okay,
There's two stories.
So Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali, they're working for a businessman who's Rupert Friend, and his whole thing is he has to get 3 samples of the 3 biggest dinosaurs: the Mosasaur, the Quetzalcoatlus, and the Titanosaur. And that's something that, because their hearts are so big, genetic research, it can make human hearts pump better, and it'll stop heart disease.
Yeah, sure.
That's the MacGuffin that they're going after. And while they're doing that,
sounds like it'd work good for a video game.
Yeah, I mean, Dinosaur Hunter, or the fact that Dino Crisis hasn't been remade, is still stuck in my craw, because
it's wild, isn't it?
You can remake all the Resident Evils, but you can't do the same. Like you gave Resident Evil 3, like do that with Dino Crisis.
Yeah, they're just sitting on Dino Crisis.
I'd buy it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, there's a dad, his 2 daughters, and his older daughter's boyfriend, and they're sailing from Barbados to South Africa, and they get taken out by a mosasaur. Their boat gets flipped over, and then they ended up on the boat with Scarlett Johansson.
I see.
And so that's how a kid ends up there, because there's always got to be a kid at a Jurassic Park situation.
Yeah. Gotta have a kid die.
No kids die.
Stupid.
No kids ever die in Jurassic Parks.
Yes. Jurassic Park 2, a kid dies. She's eaten by a little...
No. They specifically say the daughter's in critical condition, but the parents are really shaken up by it. That's a line, specifically. That girl gets attacked by compies.
That's definitely retconned.
You get to see all of your big hitters. You get your T-Rex. You get there's only one shot of a Velociraptor, which made me a little sad. And Kylosaurs, Parasaurolophus. You get your compies. You get your big new ones.
You could be listing off Pokemon right now. If I was watching a Pokemon movie and I came to you and I said, I watched a Pokemon movie. We got your Wartortles. We got your Ghastlies. We got your Dittos. We got your Mr. Mime.
The thing about Ditto.
We got your Jinx.
Anything could be a Ditto. That's how Dittos get you.
We did watch Detective Pikachu, and that was really good.
Yeah, the movie ruled. Anyway, so then it kind of like they get onto the island together, and then they immediately separate again. And then they meet up again at the end. So I'm like, this could have been 2. And the whole thing, remember when I showed you the dinosaur trailer, the D-Rex, or the toy? And it looked super goofy?
The dinosaur trailer.
Or no, the D-Rex, the toy that leaked. Yes. It's a dinosaur with the little tiny arms.
Yes.
It looks goofy as well.
Yes.
So part of the thing was there's mutant dinosaurs, and the special forces people are fighting the mutant dinosaurs.
There was a guy on my... Blue Sky, who just posted a picture of that dinosaur. It just says, I fucking hate this guy.
But anyway, so I think there could have been a movie where it's just a family thing, and they get on a separate island, because their whole thing is like, all the dinosaurs are dying in like outside of the equator, but in the tropics they're like, there are all these islands where the dinosaurs are thriving. I'm like, cool. Then we have set up a lot. So why can't you have like the family thing on one island, and then the special forces unit going and dealing with the mutant dinosaurs on a separate island? Like their interaction was just unnecessary. It seemed like they're like, hey, we still have this IP. They still make $1 billion. Here are 2 options for what the next Jurassic Park movie could be. And they're like, just put them together. Let's just sandwich both of these things in together.
All right.
Scarlett Johansson was great. She apparently got paid $20 million to do this. So that's outstanding. Mahershala Ali, also great. The fact that we haven't gotten his Blade movie, and we probably never will, is a travesty. Yeah. Because he's such a likable, charming guy.
I hope we get that Blade video game.
Or that Wolverine video game that we're supposed to have gotten.
That would have been nice too, huh?
But yeah, I all in all, I think it's a good one. If out of the 7, I would say it's probably...
Okay. Yeah.
It's probably number 5 for me.
Wow. So
5 out of 7? No, because that's the thing. I like all these movies.
I love the first one.
That's the only one you've seen.
I've seen the second and third one.
Oh, but you haven't seen any of the World movies.
Oh, I've seen the first one, and I was like, this is pretty dull.
I think this is better than the first Jurassic World. And I think it's better than...
I really think that's a low bar. That's what I would say. I did not think that was a good movie.
I think it's better than the first and the second Jurassic World. I really like the third Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That's just because it had Sam Neill in it.
Sheesh, man.
And at one point in this, the scientist character...
Why do you have amazing patience for these?
Jacob, because of dinosaurs.
I guess so.
I had... Hold on, there's something. I had to write this down because there's a line in this movie that I was like, oh, there it is. So, what's his name? Jonathan Bailey's character is a dinosaur doctor, and he's working in New York City, baby, and he runs a dinosaur thing, and they're closing it down because ticket sales are down because everyone's seen dinosaurs at this point. And Scarlett, and first of all, he says he's never seen a live dinosaur. It's like, or he's never seen a dinosaur in the wild. I'm like, you're a dinosaur doctor. Like, they're available. That's like Jane Goodall saying, oh, no, I would never see a chimpanzee in the wild. It's like, that's your whole thing. And they're out there.
Go to that island, right?
But that you've only not been able to go to those islands for like 7 years in canon.
I see.
Before then, people could. But he has a line, and he says that his thing only sold 12 tickets last week when Scarlett Johansson is asking why he needs money. Mm-hmm. And he says, it seems that no one just cares about these animals anymore if people can just see them whenever they want. I'm like, that says a lot about the Jurassic Park franchise, that people just don't care about them anymore because everything's a spectacle. Like, I sent you a thing. I have my projector down here, booted up the original Jurassic Park. That shot where they turn the corner and the brachiosaur's right there, that looks better than anything in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That movie's 30 plus years old.
It's got a better sense of scale.
Yeah, which is something I thought Gareth Edwards would do well.
Yeah.
Because the first new Godzilla was great.
It's hard to make it feel incredible when it's mostly CGI.
Perfect example. So there's a scene when they're going to get the titanosaurs. They're bigger than brachiosauruses. And
Red Ranger.
Jonathan Bailey.
Titanosaur!
I'm sure one of them was a titanosaur. I don't know enough about Power Rangers to refute that.
Mastodon, pterodactyl, saber-tooth tiger. Oh, shoot.
Tyrannosaurus.
No, there was a fourth one. Mastodon.
Triceratops.
Yeah, Triceratops. Yeah.
But anyway, so there's a scene where he goes up to the Titanosaur's leg, and it like is a sweet moment, and like the song starts playing and it's like, oh, it reminds you of that.
Yay.
But it's clearly pushing up against a CG. I'm like, you can't just build a leg. Like, just build him a leg so he could touch a leg. Like, the first one looks so good because at some point the actual T-Rex is like pushing down into the car and trying to bite the kids. Yeah. It's a physical head. Like, I know it's closer to Jaws than it is to now.
Yeah.
And it looks so much better than Jaws did. Mm. But the fact of actually having a Jaws in the water makes it a better thing.
Yeah.
And after all the money that was put into this, you can't tell me that it costs, because you can't see the whole dinosaur. It's just a leg. It's like it'd be like you could take a tree and put skin around it and film it.
Yeah.
And make it think that it's the leg, and it would have looked better than this CGI leg the dude's touching.
I think it's about time. You know what I mean?
They'll
spend $200 million to make a Tyrannosaurus because you could do it on a computer pretty quickly.
And then you could just copy and paste it and be like, at this point, you could just say, here's our model. I want it to go do this.
Yeah. Hey, we don't want to,
make a leg.
Shoot on location or have to, get a new team together for something.
Yeah.
Let's just pay Computer Boy to do computer things.
That's my thing. Just having rewatched it so close, the original, so recently, it's just like, I can't imagine that there's not a market for someone wanting to make it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is why it needs to die and stop. I think Jurassic Park is a perfect movie.
I think you mean go extinct.
It would be fine if it went extinct.
Ian Malcolm says that in the first one.
They're too busy thinking about whether or not they should.
No, there could.
There couldn't do no could. Line reading perfect.
But I'm happy I didn't drag you to this because I feel like you would hate it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm happy I went and saw it. The theater was not very busy.
I mean, that's actually surprising because we're coming up on 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July.
So I figured that people would have today off maybe because everybody was out on the road and everybody drives like an idiot.
They sure do.
Oh my gosh, driving here was terrible. I don't want to sound like an old man, but
yeah.
My knees hurt.
I don't know. So that's my review of it. Like
okay.
That's spoiler free. I think people would like it. I feel like this is such a great IP, and I don't know why there's a reason to not make it as good as it can be.
Just let it die.
It's like you haven't seen Andor season 2, but they put a lot more money into Andor season 2 than they did in Andor season 1.
Yeah.
Andor season 1, a lot of it was shot on the volume, where I'm sure they shot some of this, which is the big giant screen projector thing. And it's just like when they actually do the sets, even though it's like a smaller thing, the fact that they're actually standing somewhere makes it look so much better.
Yeah.
If you just have just let the guy pet a leg. Like, just give him a dinosaur leg to touch.
Same.
So he's not just like this. It has nothing to do with the story of this movie.
Yeah.
The story of the movie's fine. I think it could have been 2 movies because I would have liked to see people interact separately.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see more of the mutant stuff.
Compare it to the dinosaur movie.
65?
65.
65 was... You never tried to get the connection with the dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just that one moment where he's actually touching the dinosaur where you're supposed to have... Because 65 doesn't play on any nostalgia for anything.
Yeah.
It's its own new IP. I love 65. It's just like how they didn't, in Under Paris, that shark movie we watched, they didn't need an animatronic shark because the sharks were just a plot device more than a character. In this, they try to make the dinosaurs some sort of character.
I see what you mean.
And some of it looks really good, and some of it's great.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I wasn't interested, and...
I'd give it, it's the 5th best of the Jurassic Park movies. Although I think Jurassic Park 3 is the 2nd best Jurassic Park movie. And a lot of people...
Jurassic Park 3?
Is the 2nd best Jurassic Park movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big, tall order.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is really weird.
Yeah. I know. Spinosauruses are in this, too. You get a little Spinosaur. You get Spinosaur and Kylosaur. No Pachycephalosaur. My favorite dinosaur was not in this.
To me, Jurassic Park is like...
It's a perfect movie.
It's a perfect film.
It's on, if you're talking about if there was 10 perfect films, I would put Jurassic Park on there. I put Princess Bride on there as a perfect movie.
It's one of those things where it's like anything won't touch it, you know? So when people try, it's like, that's good, but I'm not interested at all.
Yeah.
You know, Jurassic World, I gave it a shot, and I was like,
I know.
That's a fun idea.
You also, that was coming at peak Chris Pratt saturation. Where everyone's like, he doesn't have to be in everything.
I liked it when he was like, I love God and Jesus. And now he's like, I don't know who said that.
I also like to keep getting paid millions of dollars.
I'm also a bad boy.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was great. Scarlett Johansson's great. Like, she's just ridiculously charismatic.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. It's funny when she's not playing like a romantic.
Did I tell you? I watched Zone of Interest.
No.
Oh yeah, I watched that movie.
Is that the
That's John
Holocaust
Glazer?
one?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's Under the Skin director John Glazer. It's great.
Heard that was good.
Harrowing.
Yeah, harrowing. My brother-in-law watched it. Said it was really good.
Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah, Under the Skin, bad movie though.
And then I watched Nickel
Not
Boys.
as good as Lucy.
And then I watched Nickel Boys right after.
Another one I always recommended to you.
Yeah,
yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I was in a mood. I was like, I want to feel real sad. So I watched 2 real sad movies.
After watching your recommendation, I can understand why you would want to feel real sad, because that's apparently the mood you're in.
Oh, no. I thought Past Lives was beautiful.
You know, do we have anything else important to talk about?
We're talking about Red Dead.
Okay, Red Dead Redemption has a new DLC.
Yeah. It looked like it was just online, so
it is just online.
Care?
So there are 4 new missions, and that's all it is. It was a lot of hype for 4 new missions. Really fun. There's one mode. If you ever boot up Red Dead Online, I think you'd really like it. You remember the Friday the 13th game that we played?
Yeah.
So one of the missions is kind of like that. In Red Dead, there's this tribe that lives up in the hills called the Skinner Brothers, and they're just like old red. It's like Hills Have Eyes type shit. And they kidnap you, and then you have to break out, and then you start with nothing. So you don't have any of your stuff, and you have to like creep around to their camps and like knock them out. And like shit like that's fun. There's one with robots. Robots were in Red Dead 2, and there's like an army of those robots. That's kind of fun. There's like zombie stuff. It's kind of fun. It's not as much content as I would want, since we haven't had any content for this in like fucking 3 years.
Yeah.
And it is my favorite game. And I had a lot of fun playing it. Be a lot more fun if people would play with me, because no one else plays it.
No.
I understand. It was great though.
I bought Sulaco. I'm playing that.
What's Sulaco?
It's a game that people made off of the Doom 2 engine with
Really?
Pro Doom, GZ Doom, I believe.
Okay.
So it's crazy how good it looks, and it's it's like a beefed up Doom type game. It was very fun.
Yeah.
I had a great time with it. Yeah. It's a nice little first-person shooter.
Is that in your boy Noodle's new video?
Yeah.
I got halfway through that and started looking at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that guy.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, actually, I got...
Did you watch his video? I'm in his video.
Which one?
The
first-person shooter one?
No, where he's like how to trick people into watching a video.
Oh, no.
Because he went to MagFest, right?
Yeah, I remember.
He posted his video of the MagFest thing.
Oh, shit. I'll have to watch that.
And you see me for a split second.
Nice.
I'm standing up taking a picture.
You would.
And that's me.
The last thing I wanted to talk about before we get to Rex is the story from Matt Stone and Trey Parker, because I think it's great. So Paramount Global and Skydance Media, Jake and I was like, I think this is a tech guy that owns it. Mm-hmm. No, it's David Ellison owns Skydance. His dad is Larry Ellison that owns Oracle.
Yeah.
So he's a billionaire's kid.
He's way qualified.
Super qualified.
Probably overqualified.
To run an entertainment studio? Yeah. He actually might be, unironically, he still might be. Having a smart dad might make you better than a lot of studio heads. I'm saying that unironically. If you can't, if no one has a note in all of Warner Brothers to put a real fucking dinosaur leg in this movie, I don't know what to tell you.
They're making money, baby.
I guess.
So they're happy.
Whatever. So anyway,
go ahead.
So they have a merger that's coming up, and they were afraid this merger wasn't going to happen. So Paramount and CBS paid the president of the United States like $15 million to settle a bullshit lawsuit.
Yeah.
Just because it's bribery,
and
it's legal now. Yeah. So, I mean...
You can bribe the president.
At this point, bribing the executive branch is like when Lance Armstrong was like, well, everyone was on steroids, so of course I was on steroids. Yeah. Now, to be competitive in capitalism, you're like, well, everyone's bribing the government, so I got to bribe the government too, apparently.
Wow.
Feel kind of bad for him. So, the South Park, the new season of South Park, which is... It's an interesting... way to put it, because South Park they have that whole documentary, The 6 Days to Air.
Yeah.
They pride themselves on being able to turn around the episodes, so they really need to know when they're going to come out. Mm-hmm. And so they could start planning ahead, to have people there, to have the animators there, to have the writers there. Mm-hmm. It was so the last season of South Park came out in March of 2024, special episodes and stuff like that, and they specifically said they wanted to take the election off. Because they're like, we're done. There's nothing else we could say about American politics that we have any interest in saying.
Yeah,
like our feelings have been made clear.
Sad. Yeah,
we don't have any. They just don't
keep making
want
it
to
funny.
do that.
Yeah.
So this $8 billion merger, they were supposed to have the season start at the beginning of this month. Like I think it was supposed to start next month or next week. And they're like, okay, great. But because their streaming rights as the biggest IP that Comedy Central still owns, which is under the umbrella of Paramount, was still apparently a bone of contention with the merger. So that merger's messing up them. So now they're like, okay, we're going to postpone you guys the season premiere by 2 weeks. And Matt Stone and Trey Parker are like, that fucks us up because we have a production schedule and stories that we wanted to do, yada, yada, yada. So they basically went on social media and said when people were asked to comment about the merger, they said, this merger's a shit show and it's fucking our show up. And I'm like, good for them. Because if there's anyone in the entertainment industry that doesn't take any shit, they have all the money they will ever need.
Yeah.
Like, it's Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
But they can say whatever they want.
Yeah, which is nice. It's a luxury not many people in the industry have.
I hear you. And it's just, it also, to me, it's just toothless. You know what I mean?
Of course. Because it doesn't matter how big. It's impossible to take these companies
I'm happy
down.
that they understand that this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But
well, they said they hope their fans get to see the show.
Yeah. But it's just...
Yeah.
It's so tiring right now.
Imagine being them.
I'm an American too.
Right, but I mean...
I'm watching these things happen, and I have absolutely nothing that I could do. I can call my senator and be like...
What are they doing?
Glenn.
That's the governor.
Slam a basketball, please, and it'll save us.
Yeah, governor's not going to do anything to help you.
He doesn't do anything anyway.
Ooh, sick bird, sick political commentary.
Do I not like Glenn Youngkin? I'll never tell.
Hot take. That's the sci-fi author that wants to come on our show.
I hated him when he was doing his ad campaign and he was shooting a basketball, and he never said, vote for me, and I'll make Virginia slam dunk. If you said that, I would have been like, I guess I'm a Republican now.
I guess that's all it takes. Yeah. Just one little quip in Jake's soul.
I would have been right there. Yep.
So easy to do, but no one
very
does
easily swayed.
Like a fucking dinosaur leg.
But you have to, percept that's what I want. I'm not going to tell you.
Or you could do some culinary themed rapping like Zoran Mandami did. That's pretty dope.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He's going to get deported.
MC Cardamom, baby.
Holy
I like
crap,
him.
dude.
All right, let's talk about Jake's recommendation first.
Yeah.
Past Lives,
a
film from 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was nominated for Oscars. I don't know if it won.
I think so.
I think it got Best Director nomination and Best Original Screenplay, if I'm not mistaken. Written and directed by Celine Song. From what I've read, loosely autobiographical of her. Jake, why'd you pick this?
Well,
and what made you come back to this?
I watch a streamer, Northern Lion, and like he's got a Korean wife and stuff, and he watched Past Lives, and he was like, "This is one of the best movies." He's like, of all time, if not just of the year, but like probably of all time. He's like probably the top 3 movies I've ever seen.
Really?
So I was like, "That's really cool."
High praise from a streamer.
And it's been tentatively on my mind to watch, and then him being like, "Yeah, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen."
Huh.
I was like, "Well, I'll watch it," and then so I did, and I was like, "Yeah, this is fantastic. This is such a good movie." It's very funny because it's like Northern Lion's life, where the lady comes to Canada for a little while.
Yeah. So that's the premise of the thing is it starts. It takes place in 3 different time frames.
12 years apart.
Right. So it starts at modern day, and then it says 24 years earlier. Boy and girl, they're living in South Korea, and it's right at the time that the girl's family...
What a beautiful way to start the movie, too. Mm-hmm. Where you're just watching these 2 Korean people talk to each other. You can't hear them because they're like across from the bar.
Yeah.
And you're just listening in on the couple on the other side of the bar.
The unseen narrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're watching them.
Great shot.
And they're like, so who do you think that guy is? And he's like, those 2 are obviously married. Maybe he's like their guide or something. And then it cuts to 24 years earlier.
Right.
And you see that when they were 12 years old, they were friends in Korea. And she... obviously loved him then.
Yeah, childhood crushes.
I want to go on a date with him. But she's also leaving. She goes to Canada.
Right.
And
eventually her dad's a artist and her mom's an artist, and they go to Canada. She eventually ends up in New York City.
New York City, baby.
I just double-checked myself. It was nominated for Best Picture and Best Original Screenplay.
Now we're
Best
talking.
Director, Best Picture, and Best Original Screenplay.
Now we're talking.
So then there's a time jump.
It goes 12 years later.
When they're both adults.
When they're 24 now. And he's been looking for her on Facebook.
Right.
He hit up her dad's movie Facebook that he has, being like,
has anyone seen your daughter?
Hey, where's your daughter? And like she's on a phone with her mom.
So that would have been set what? 20 it's probably on here. 2011.
Yes. And it was good. It looked like old Facebook. It looked like that good old Facebook that I miss, man. Holy crap.
I remember Facebook when you had to have a college ID to get a Facebook.
Oh, I remember that.
It was good.
I remember if you wanted to just talk to people, you could just poke them.
Writing on someone's wall.
Yeah. There was no
wasn't just AI
freaking
garbage.
ads everywhere.
Just AI slop.
Just stuff that people I'm not following. I have to look at their shit. Oh my god!
You don't have sheriff's office posting false accusations.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a weird
shit show.
And then not printing retractions afterwards.
Yeah, right.
What a weird fucking thing this is.
What a great sheriff's office
to say nothing about anything.
I'm doubling down. That's what they said. Holy crap, dude.
Sir, you have 19. I'm doubling down. 10. Fuck.
We are talking about Past Lives.
Yes. So Hae-sung, the guy, he goes into the military. Nora goes to NYC to become a playwright.
Yes.
Reconnect through Facebook, yada, yada, yada.
They connect. They start Skyping each other.
Constantly.
Yes.
And it's all right, I'll say this. So at that scene in the movie, I'll just go ahead and say this gets a 3 for me.
Absolutely.
3 soft 3.
Soft 3?
Because you might be able to turn me around.
Sure.
At the end.
This is a fantastic 3.
Honestly, so Jake sold this to me, or in his pitch last week was, you love this movie, and then you wanted to cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I sobbed at the end. I went, oh my God.
So they're recreating.
I was heartbroken, but like in a joyous way. Just like I felt her pain very well.
It has emotions, and you know I hate those.
Yes. So happy to see it. But
so I did have a note here. This movie is gorgeous.
Yes.
And the way that they're talking to each other over Skype and then messing like that, it's really well shot.
Yeah.
Every shot's like a fucking painting.
Very sweet.
It's very great.
And I feel for them so much. It's wonderful. I feel for Hae-sung just because he's a very reserved, shy guy. He's very
typical South Korean, buttoned up, goes out with his buddies and gets ripped shit hammered.
Yeah.
I wrote in here, I love Korean drinking culture.
Yeah,
Korean, Japanese drinking culture.
Seems great.
Where it's just like, what are we, at one point, Hae-sung says, like, we're going to drink until we die.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is just like, all right. Like, I don't drink anymore, but I remember those nights where you're out with your buddies. We're like, we're going to get hammered.
When we cut to 12 years later for the first time when they're 24 to Korea, you find Hae-sung and his friend just got broken up with from his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's just rubbing his back while he's crying.
Love
he's
the
just
bro
saying,
culture.
yeah, he's just saying,
Love it.
Hey man, he's like, go ahead and cry. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, we're all
and
here
I'm like,
to get drunk and get sloppy.
Oh boy.
Then we'll wake up and go to work the next
He's
day.
being a sweet guy.
I love it.
He also likes to poke fun at her, and he's just I was falling in love with him while I was watching him. She changed her name to Nora.
Yeah.
And
anglicized her name. A lot of people do that.
Yes, that's quite typical. Yeah. And she I was falling in love with her because she's very pleasant. She talks a lot, but she's always engaging, and I knew I was starting to love this movie and starting to love her because Hae-sung was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm watching a movie, Eternal Sunshine on a Spotless Mind.
Right.
I was like, uh-oh.
And it cuts to him watching.
How do you drop a movie that's very personal to me? I love that movie. And, oh yeah, it's great.
It's okay.
That's great. It's fantastic. So I was like, what a cool lady. That's cool stuff. And, I'm just falling in love with these two.
Right.
And then she hits him with the haymaker when she says, I'm going on a writer's retreat. And I want to stop talking to you.
Right, because she says that she's focusing on him.
Yes.
Or thinking about, or what'd she say? She should be working on her career.
Yes.
Instead, she's looking at flights to go back to Seoul.
Yes.
Because he's still in Seoul at this point.
Yes.
That's the end of Act 2. Mm-hmm. I will say right there, this movie, the way it romanticizes that nostalgia that was so specific to early social media, I don't think I've seen anything that does it better.
The unceremony of it is what I find so relatable, so sweet.
Yeah.
It's like this moment is, all right, bye, and then you click the end call button, and it's like, that person's gone from my life now.
Right. But just that...
Wow.
But that... when you first got onto social media, you're like, oh, there's this person. Let me see what that person's doing. And you have or it could have just been me. I could have just been a fucking loser. But it's like, oh, well, I can reconnect with this person. Like, we never synced up when we were in school or whatever, yada, yada, yada. But maybe, they're out having a great life, whatever. The way it plays out, I'm like, this is perfect. Not because it's accurate, but because it's how it felt.
Yes.
Like, you have this... The world's connected to you, and you can go and find your one person.
They're 36, at the end of the movie, just like I am 36,
I'm still 24.
So
Very
I was
hip and with it.
I knew you would appreciate the 24-year-old thing. I also watched it with a 12-year-old, and they were like, this...
Watch this with a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
See, this is PG-13. I don't think...
I had to cover their eyes the whole time.
Well, it's not graphic.
No,
like none of it's graphic. There's not even really any language in it.
There's language.
They say fuck and shit. Like, it's a PG-13 amount of language.
Yes. But it deals with adult emotions,
right? Which are dumb,
which are wonderful.
And there's barely any dinosaurs in this movie, so it gets a big thumbs down to that. In that caveat for me. But yeah, I really
cut to 30.
No, real quick. I think the only other movie that really nailed that for me was at the end of The Social Network, when Mark Zuckerberg's just clicking refresh, and he's just a sad man trying to get this girl to like him again.
Have not watched that movie.
It's an amazing film.
I'm not gonna watch
it.
But
that's really hard to do. It's like when a movie does. It's like in the 40s when like telephones were like new in films and everything like that, and everyone pick up the phone and it was clearly not a conversation. It was like, what? You did what? Okay, I'll be right there. And it's like, clearly that wasn't a telephone conversation.
Yeah.
In the early 2000s, there was a lot of that with texting, where like that wasn't accurate texting, like on screen. And then they figured that out too. I think this is one of the first ones to figure out
what a Zoom call looks like, what a Skype call looks like.
Yeah, like Skype and everything like that, and how to shoot that to where it looks it draws you in as opposed to it being a barrier because you're not watching two people talk.
It's
the way that
beautiful.
was shot and written. That's why I said it's poetry. It's the best I've ever seen of social media interactions filmed.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say about
that
thing.
What a cool little thing, too.
I think it's great because I noticed that. Like sometimes when you're watching a movie and someone texts and it'll be either like pop up in the corner and you could read it or whatever. Like some things do that better than other things. Or like when someone's like writing a letter and they're like talking while they're writing, I'm like, no one does that. But then it's like you can either have like the Ken Burns voiceover. It's like, my dearest whoever. It's hard to shoot. The way Celine Song shot this and wrote it, top shelf.
I was a big fan of what they were doing. I have relationships like that, you know, where I would talk to people all night, you know, on line.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to show that, these people are in love with each other.
Yeah.
And like, this is how you express it this way.
The way they were half the world apart and they were talking through computers, but they still felt very close.
Yes.
That's hard to do, and she did it well.
Yes. And I was a huge fan of what they were going through. And then we cut to 12 years later.
2023, baby.
2023. And we are...
Nora is married.
She married the guy that she met at the writer's retreat.
Who's a goof.
He seems like a sweetie.
Seems like a
sweetie pie.
hapless guy, but he's one of those dudes where you're just like, no.
Well, I mean, but that's just because we love Haesung and we love Nora.
Exactly. That's the weird thing about this as romances is he's not fucking Bradley Cooper in Wedding Crashers where you're like, she shouldn't be with this guy. Like he's a nice guy, but you're still rooting against him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that he understands that himself.
And he does nothing wrong.
Because,
if anything, he goes far and above what I would do in this situation.
He's beautiful. He's such a good guy. He's such a good husband.
Yeah.
Because like he's put in a wild situation. You know, hey,
Haesung's coming
to New York City.
Yeah, baby.
It's clear that he's just coming to see Nora. Right. You know, he's going on vacation and he says, I just want to, I want to see America.
And his buddies are giving him shit. It's like, oh, you're going to see this girl?
Yeah.
He's like, I haven't thought about her.
He's like, oh, yeah.
She's married anyway, about like 7 years ago. It's like, clearly you're thinking about her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so she knows that it's for her. She talks to her husband about it. And her husband's like, would we be together? Or would you be with Haesung if I wasn't here?
Best part of this movie, Arthur. Yeah, Arthur.
Yeah.
He has the monologue that just says he understands that his wife had this. They hadn't seen each other at this point in 24 years.
Yeah.
They hadn't talked in 12 years.
Yeah.
But he picks up emotionally from his wife that this person's very important to her. And he gives her the ultimatum. It's like, listen, like, because I think they got married because she needed a green card.
Yes.
He's like, if I hadn't been at that writer's retreat, you would have talked to somebody else.
Yes.
And you would have gotten married to someone else.
He's saying, like, I feel like I like that scene a lot because the communication is done really well.
Right.
Where there's no accusations going back and forth.
This movie's all about communication.
Yes. It's
great.
Beautiful.
It's well made.
So fucking good.
I gave it a 3.
Where Arthur's just like, I feel like if it wasn't me, it would have been somebody else.
Like it was random.
Yes. And she just says, I love you. And I was like, I want to tear up a little bit. I was like, this is great. This is how you do it. You express your feelings towards another person. They let you know that, yes, what you're saying might be true, but here we are right now, and I love you.
Right.
And without that makes sense.
Without completely writing off your feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what you're feeling is valid.
This dude's emotional intelligence, Arthur, I'm like, that's the part where I'm like, that's the least believable part of
this. That's what a good guy is right there.
Right.
It's beautiful.
Can't relate.
So they finally meet up, and it's very, very sweet, very cute.
Yeah.
Because they just spend time together. They just talk. And
it's like, where do you want to go eat? He goes, pasta.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
pasta.
Yeah.
I love his...
Come to New York City. You got to have some pasta, baby. It's fantastic. It's manja. Have you watched the new season of The Bear?
No.
It's fucking great.
I haven't seen season 3 of The Bear.
John Mulaney's back. He's the best recurring character.
Both of them... I heard that both of these seasons weren't really good.
Those people are liars. They're good.
Oh. Well, I'm happy to hear that's good. But... yeah, they have a great time together.
Yeah.
On this, and like it's those, that very final scene.
We cut back to the bar.
Yeah.
Where we first saw them before the flashbacks, except now we see them from their perspective. And Nora and Haesung are having a conversation in Korean.
Yeah.
While her husband's right there.
Yeah. And he's just basically saying like,
I thought
we would have been together.
I thought the twist was going to be like, if I had written this movie, the twist was going to be at that point, Arthur would have been like, I speak Korean.
Yeah.
I'm
absolutely sure he was picking up some of that conversation.
Yeah, he was just picking up some of it. But I thought it was going to be
that he was learning Korean so that he can get along with Nora's family more.
I thought it was going to be a situation like when George Costanza's dad goes into the nail salon and he knew how to speak Vietnamese and started blowing everything up.
I think he played it off really well because he knew.
I think it's ambiguous enough too that he could have.
Exactly.
He could have known everything and just chose to sit there stone-faced.
And just let it happen because Hae-sung just told her, because the movie's called Past Lives because it's about this idea in Korean culture where when you meet somebody, when you have that connection, it's because you guys had a connection before in a past life.
Yeah, it's Buddhist specifically.
Yeah. So, and the more you see, more
Inyon.
Yeah, and the more you see each other in past lives, the stronger that feeling is.
Yeah.
So when you have this strong yin yang with somebody, that's something, that's something beautiful. That's something that Hae-sung and Nora
it doesn't have to be
are
romantic because Hae-sung says he has it with Arthur too.
Exactly.
It's like I feel like
I have yin yang with you.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
He finally gets to tell her, he definitely came to New York City to say goodbye to her. To be like, I have to move on with my life.
Which is what she did to him 12 years ago.
Exactly. But, he needed this. She needed this too, because those final seconds where he's waiting for the Uber and they're just staring at each other, I was like, I'm dying. Yeah. They're so close to each other. They want to kiss each other so bad. And then he gets in the car. He just says goodbye. And she walks over to her husband and she just starts bawling.
And he gives her a big old hug.
That's when I started crying. Yeah. I was like, I cannot believe the strength of that lady. I cannot believe the strength of Arthur. I'm so proud of Hae-sung for going through what he needed to do for himself and for his friend.
Yeah.
Just amazing. I wish I had that emotional intelligence that these people had.
It's definitely one of those things where you're writing a person better than any person I know.
Yes. Like a little bit like that.
The only people I can relate to is like the drunk friends in the bar. It's just like, hey, you're going to see that girl. You suck.
But what I felt they were just letting me see that people do have these types of feelings too.
Yeah.
I feel like I have these connections with a lot of people in my life where I would be with them forever if it was that way, but it's just not. So it was really fun to see a movie just be like, and it's good, and it's actually very good. Yin Yang is very special and sweet, and you should love it and cherish it, but you shouldn't let it,
dictate it.
Yeah,
because they have that thing at the end where he says that she says something to the fact like, "Oh, do you think we'll see each other again or was it like this in another life?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll see you then."
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, that's very optimistic.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful way to do it.
It reminded me a lot in that aspect of missing each other off again. One of our favorite books that we've read here, This Is How You Lose the Time War, had a lot of that thing where it's just like with that one, literally they were going through time.
Yes,
and it was just kind of that kind of.
This was like the less sci-fi version of This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Well, there's almost no sci-fi in this. Celine Song wrote and directed this, has the new movie that's out now, Materialists, which I want to see with Chris Evans and...
That one's getting mixed reviews.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal. And
what's her name? Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name?
Dakota
Johnson.
Nailed
it. Tag team that one.
Got it, bro.
My other favorite thing of this, which I thought was funny, is so after the bar scene where Arthur and Nora and Hae-sung are talking, yada, 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 Hae-sung goes back to his hotel room. After he first meets her, like the first day that they go out together, he goes back to his hotel room and he sits in the cuck chair.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought.
I wrote it down. I was like, dude, you can't sit in the cuck chair.
This movie knew exactly what it was saying. This movie knew exactly what it was saying with that chair.
I think it's a weird...
Awesome.
It's weird that it fit so well.
Yeah.
Because it was a premise that I can't relate to. Like, I would never fly across the world to go see a married woman. Never. Just move on. Just bottle down the emotions and be like, you know what?
I don't want to do that anymore.
We're fine.
And this movie is don't do that.
You get to a point in your life, but I'm just saying, I don't relate to that.
Yes.
I definitely would have been like, let's go hang out with this guy, my wife, that came halfway around the world to see you. 100% chance he's not going to stab us. And just my own insecurities or whatever. I'm like, no, you're not fucking doing that.
Oh, that's so controlling.
But the fact that I couldn't relate to any of these characters, but still related to the theme, means it's a well-made movie.
I hear you. I very much related to this movie.
I understand.
Yeah.
I did not, but I enjoyed it.
I'm happy to hear that.
It stuck the landing for what I feel is a very unreasonable premise.
No. Like in my heart, I would drive.
It's fine. I know you would.
I've driven hours to just spend an hour with somebody.
You got those emotions.
Yeah, I got a lot of those emotions.
I ain't got them.
And this movie's like, hey, that's really cool that you got those emotions.
Right.
I'm like, thank you, movie. Thank you so much. Sometimes I just want to hear that.
Well, yeah, it gets a 3. Past Lives, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
cool.
Give it a watch.
Absolutely watch it.
All right, let's talk about my recommendation for Jake. Documentary.
Also on Netflix.
Trainwreck, Poop Cruise.
So
this was about the Carnival Triumph in 2013.
Yes.
Follows Netflix's Trainwreck series. They have one about Woodstock. They had one about that
Woodstock
just came
99.
out specifically.
Which
I gotta say, seeing clips from Woodstock 99, when Kid Rock comes out, as big of a piece of shit as Kid Rock is now, when he comes out and screams, "My name is Kid," there's that weird 12-year-old part of my brain that's like, ball with the ball, motherfucker. Like, let's fucking go. Like, it still gets me going. But anyway, so this is a documentary about a cruise. It broke down. People probably remember this story. Power went out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and they...
He looked at me dead in the eyes when he said that.
I can't look at the viewer or listener. But the cruise boat breaks down, and they're like, hey, we can't flush the toilets. So it's known as the poop cruise because people had to start pooping in bags. And they're at sea for like 4 days. So it's shot... I really like this because there are characters in this, the talking heads for the documentary of people that were on the boat.
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked better people to cast. So here's the cast of characters. There's Ashley, who's the British lady who like runs. Everyone's like she's like the queen of the cruise.
Captain.
She's not a captain. She's the cruise coordinator.
Oh,
like she's in charge of talking to the guests, and they're like, oh, everyone that says like, oh, we heard Ashley, and she's like, yay, and they're like, oh, we're gonna do this at the cruise now.
Perfect.
There are 3 girls, Kaylin, Jamie, and Jen. Or no, sorry, Jen's the cruise director. Ashley's one of the people. Jen was the cruise director.
There you go.
And
yes, that's right.
Ashley, Kaylin, and Jamie were 3 girls that were just on a girls' trip before one of their weddings. And they're the worst. They're just there to get drunk, and everything's a burden to them.
Yeah.
But I love hearing them talk. They're like Desperate Housewives, shit like that. I love it.
I hear you.
Or Real Housewives, rather.
I really...
There's Abby, who's the chef. Love him.
Favorite guy.
No, he's not your favorite guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely
Jake's favorite guy is Hannah, the bartender from Eastern Europe, who talks about how much sex everyone has on the cruise.
She was fine.
And then also at some point she's like, all these I can't do an Eastern European accent, but she's like, all these Americans, as soon as the power goes out and they have to poop in bags, they act like it's the end of the world. That's just called living in the Soviet Union. I'm just like, good for you.
Yeah.
Larry and Rebecca, father and daughter.
Yeah. That one
took your 13-year-old daughter on the cruise.
Yep.
Felt for that guy because as a father, if you're put in a situation like that with your daughter and your daughter's like, Dad, what are we going to do? I'm like, I don't know.
Every man for himself, sweetheart.
At this point, we're pooping in bags. And there's a guy named Devin who's there with his future father-in-law and their family. And he spends the entire time trying not to poop on the cruise.
He doesn't want to poop in a bag so bad.
And he's so neurotic about it that you buy it.
After a while, I'm like...
Just poop in the bag.
Just poop in the bag.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's okay.
And granted, everyone likes a home game. You know what I mean? No one likes to have to do that in a bag on a ship with strangers.
Yeah.
But he like scours the whole ship looking for, there's a rumor that there's a bathroom that works.
Yeah, there was a working toilet apparently on this cruise for a little while.
Which you think with gravity, most of them would. Like, I don't understand how.
That's why they're pissing in the showers.
I mean, I feel like it could be like an airplane situation where it just like opens up and then falls to wherever it falls. Like just cut a hole in the fucking bottom of the boat. I don't know. I don't understand how cruises work.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to watch this one because I think it's funny. It's a new thing on Netflix, and I wanted to see who you liked. And you're not a cruise person.
No.
I'm a Florida man. Never been on a cruise.
No.
You cannot pay me enough to ever get on a cruise.
I mean, you'd have to pay me to get on a cruise, is what I would say. I would go on a cruise because it seems like you get pampered and stuff. But
I just hate. Okay, so
like in this thing, it says like the Carnival says we are not responsible for.
That's the thing. So there's a lawyer at the end who
to feed you. Yeah.
What's that fucking guy's name? Because that guy rules too.
That guy was a scumbag.
Oh, Frank Spagnoletti.
Yeah. That dude.
I'm not saying anything bad about him. Well, first of all, I can because
I'm not trying to say anything bad. I think he's a scumbag.
Right.
But he's doing it for, he's trying to do the right thing.
He's a maritime lawyer. Yes. And he flat out says in his talk, he's like, as soon as I hear anything bad, and I'm not doing that exaggerated of an impression of him for a guy named Frank Spagnoletti, who's a lawyer and wears suspenders, and he's got
smokes a cigar.
He's got the blue shirt with the white collar,
pinstripes.
He's a fucking cartoon.
Yes,
and he's just like, whenever I hear about anything bad happening on the seas, I know it's going to be a case for me. Yeah. And it's like he's the big maritime lawyer, and so he's following it up, and he finds out that Carnival has a thing that says there's no guarantee of safety.
Yeah.
Food
when you sign off on the it's like we don't have to feed you,
right?
There's no guarantee that you'll be fed,
right?
And it's like
you got to read the fine print.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
you cannot enforce that.
Yeah, they're like,
we're going to take you on a week's cruise, and if we run out of food, you're going to die.
I think the person I felt worst for was Abby the chef.
He was my favorite.
So Abby was
that poor guy. Yes, that's why I'm saying my heart goes out to him.
I thought he was great, and I think he has good back of house energy, which I think the bartender Hannah does as well. But I like those two because they were on the crew and working in the service industry for as long as I have. I know those people. Like I know people like them. I'm like, okay, she's the one that's going to bag everybody.
Yeah. I hear you.
She's fun.
Yeah.
And then the cook, I can't imagine back when I used to cook, I would have anxiety dreams about getting bogged down.
Yeah.
Like the sound of like the ticket machine printing up. I could wake up out of a dead sleep if someone just played that noise.
Yeah.
And I cannot imagine being stuck on a boat and then there's 5,000 people. It's like everyone has to eat.
Yeah. And no electricity.
Nothing works.
And you had to throw out all perishables.
All the produce. Because if people don't know, like when a walk-in gets hot, then it just gets worse. It's a runaway greenhouse effect inside of a walk-in when it stops working.
And it's a petri dish immediately.
Yeah, if a walk-in's out at room temperature and then it just keeps getting hotter, it literally starts to just fester. And it's the grossest.
And it hits the red zone
quick. We're both Serve Safe certified on this podcast.
Yes, that's very true.
We might be the only Serve Safe certified podcast. I'd like to think we are. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was just a great documentary.
Avi had great energy, like you said. I do like how he was the one that told the story about people would poop in the bag, and he said, watch one guy throw it off his deck, and it hit the wind, and it came back and hit another guy in the face. And he's just laughing while he's saying it. He's like, could you imagine just being like, what the hell? What the fuck is this?
And I think the crucial mistake that the cruise makes, and great, it's a 1 hour documentary. I think it's worth it to watch. It's fun. But Jen, funny. The cruise director, they're like, all right, everyone's going to riot. The tugboat had to turn around.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going back to Mexico anymore. They got to tug us all the way to Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
Which I could think, if you've been stuck in the middle of the ocean.
That's like a 2-day pull. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you've been stuck with no water, no running water, no fresh food for 2 days. And then you're like, guess what, guys? Now we get to go to Alabama. I jump off the side of the ship and just try to swim back to Mexico at that point.
Inch of
feces.
Piss that you have to walk through.
Yeah.
I felt the worst for the 13-year-old girl.
I felt bad for her dad.
I hear you. Because like you said, if you're a dad in that situation, you're like, also, damn. But
she'll be fine.
A little lady.
Yeah.
She doesn't deserve that shit.
Yeah.
I would have fucking gotten a helicopter for her to get her off of that bad boy quick. Yeah. But I also like that everybody's mentality went straight to tribalism.
Immediately. It goes Lord of the Flies quick.
Where people are like, these are on-line chairs. Do not touch them. We will attack you.
And then Jen has the great idea. It's like, it'll probably calm everyone down. Just give everyone free booze.
Yeah.
And then 6 hours later.
Jen said that she was against it from the beginning.
Well, and then 6 hours later, they're like, that was a mistake. We should have given everyone free booze.
It's
which is funny because I think there was a time when there was no power. There's no food. There's no anything. But if you were a bartender that still had to keep a tab.
Mm-hmm. I would have been pissed.
That would have been the worst.
If they don't pay me for that excursion.
At what point do you think the staff stops working? I think Abby keeps doing it because he's a cook and he's just like I'm doing this. And
That's what I'm saying. He's my favorite. He's like, these people have to eat.
He's grinding it out.
Yeah.
But I think if you're the person that's like, all right, I set up.
To me, he's a hero. That guy put in the freaking effort.
For sure.
Yeah, so.
But at what point, if you're the guy that goes out and does, like, if you're the comic on that ship or the hypnotist, at what point are you just like, I'm fucking done with this? Like, I'm not working anymore. Or like, do you think like, come down to the comedy show, just everyone?
I'll try my best to keep senses for everybody.
I think it's like a Titanic situation where the band kept playing like
absolutely.
as much as they could.
I would do anything to keep people's mind off of it.
I guess.
I
just thought it was fun. What'd you think about this one though?
I would say I'd give it a 3.
Yeah,
because
it's a fun little documentary.
I would think Trainwreck is a interesting documentary.
Yeah, it's a good series. Yeah.
I mean, I really like the Woodstock 99 one, but I remember Woodstock 99.
Well, you love Kid Rock.
Much, much more. I love Fred Durst.
He's opening for Metallica right now.
Oh, that sucks.
Why?
He can burn.
I found we were going through pictures, and there's one from summer of, it might have been around 99. It's either 99 or like 2001. No, I was in middle school, so it was either summer of 99 or summer of 2000. Mm-hmm. And my kid pointed out to me like, what's that hat you're wearing? Because I like minor league baseball team hats, and like I've got a whole bunch of them. She's like, what's that hat? And it was a red fitted hat turned backwards, and it was a red Yankees hat that I got to look like Fred Durst. And I wore it more places than I should have.
You wear a different red hat now.
Yeah. Yes, I do. It's my Jacksonville Jumbo shrimp hat. I've told you this before, right?
What? That you used to dress like Fred Durst?
No. You knew me back then. But no, I completely ruined all my red hats. Yeah. I have so many great red hats. Can't wear them anymore.
Yep. It's the worst.
It's a bummer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of things are lost.
Like my Jacksonville Jumbo shrimp hat. I think that's what we should be focusing on.
Makes people double look.
And a lot of the Atlanta Braves alternate hats are red, which is a bummer as well.
I have a Washington Capitals hat.
I got a Richmond Flying Squirrels hat. That's fun.
Dang.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Well, we're going to watch something else next week. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to Brother Bill for letting us use their music. If you want to get in touch with the show, or if you're a sci-fi author and you want to be on the show,
talk to Taylor.
Talk to me, I guess. I mean, I don't know your shit. But let's figure out. Oh, yeah, you can do that. upyouralleypod@gmail.com. Let's figure out what we're going to be talking about next week. We'll probably have a movie review next week.
Oh, yeah?
Fucking Superman, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's next weekend. You want to do that next Thursday and then record afterwards?
Oh, we'll talk about it off the pod.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I have stuff to talk to you.
All right.
You want me to give you your recommendation?
Yeah, man.
I have an app for you to try.
Have we ever done an app before?
No, this would be your first time.
It's kind of an app.
This is your first time.
All right, what is the thing?
It's called Deezer. Deezer.
This is a joke?
You're going to... I mean, you could sign up for the 1 month free trial if you want. It is a music app. I want you to give it a listen.
What kind of music?
It's you can take your Spotify library, put it on there nice and quick. Just see how you feel about it. Give yourself the Deezer treatment. That's what I've been using now.
I've never heard of this.
I stopped using Spotify.
Yeah, you did, because I have a book I wanted you to read. Yeah. And you're like, I don't do Spotify.
I don't do
Audible.
Spotify anymore.
Yeah. That book's great.
I might do Audible. I might still have credits.
If you have a credit for Audible, let me know, because I want you to listen to that book. It's really good, and I think it's worth it to read because the author reads it. I'm halfway through it, and I was just like, Jake would fucking love this book.
I follow him on Blue Sky.
He's great.
And he's pretty fun.
Yeah. His book's great.
He was just on Seth Meyers. That's how you know about him.
Mm-hmm. I love Seth Meyers.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah. Why did you say it with that tone?
I have no clue. But yeah, try Deezer out.
Okay.
I'm tired of Spotify. It's really hard to find any type of streaming service that doesn't enable evil. You don't know what the Spotify CEO did?
I mean, probably something terrible.
He's like investing in AI war machines.
Did he spend $50 million to have celebrities come out to his wedding?
I mean, that's my other app I got for you.
Nope, that's what I got, because my recommendation is on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, hell yeah.
Speaking of dumb action movies, new Amazon Prime original, Heads of State.
Oh my gosh. I just saw
John Cena as the president. Idris Elba is the prime minister.
I'm already so happy.
Yeah.
This sounds great.
So Jake and
John Cena is a sleeper hit, man.
And also, both stars of the good Suicide Squad movie, James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Very true. They already have a chemistry.
Uh-huh. Oh, they're great. Idris Elba's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
John Cena's great. And Jake and I both love dumb action movies.
Absolutely.
As long as they're not bad.
Yeah.
Like,
have fun. Let me have fun.
You're beekeepers.
And I know...
you're working men.
Yeah. I know John Cena
You're
is going to deliver
1
it.
and 2.
And Idris Elba is a great actor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's fucking Stringer Bell, man. He can do whatever he wants.
This is great.
Yeah, so that's on Amazon Prime.
I'm excited.
It's fun.
Cool.
Just, here's the deal. The only thing I'll ask of you, you know you. You know your body.
Uh-huh.
Go into this in the right mindset.
Okay.
Don't go into it looking to hate it. Go into this.
I'm already happy.
Just be in a good mood.
I hear you.
And watch this.
I feel you because, I mean, look at me what I did with Mountain Head. See?
Yeah.
You can trust me.
I can.
I do my best to try and be nice about stuff.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to watch
You're going to watch Heads of State.
Jake's going to watch Heads of State. I'm going to use the
Deezer.
Deezer.
App.
All right, man. I guess I will.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Happy 4th of July to everyone that celebrates
very true.
it. Try to keep all your fingers.
Have a nice day off.
Yeah. It'll be fun. All right, Jake, thanks for coming over. Love you, bud.
Love you, buddy.
Bye.